Welcome to the John Sue and Michael Rosmer video battleathon inspired by Gary Vaynerchuk. Today's topic, we're going to talk about why you need more motivation and why motivation runs out. This video is for people who feel like they need more to be motivated by things, feel like they're dragging their knuckles on the ground, wondering why they don't have enough energy or why they don't want to do all these things that they should be doing in life. A couple things you need to understand about motivation. Number one thing about motivation is motivation comes from outside of you, right? So it's like water. You know, when you're thirsty and you need more water, you have to find water somewhere, right? So one, motivation comes from the external. Two, because it comes from the external, it's a finite resource, so you'll always need more of it because it's eventually going to run out. It's like gasoline. You put gas in the car, go for a drive. Next thing you know, you're running low on E, you need more gas. So two things. Number one, it comes from the external. Two, it's a finite resource because it comes from the external. So think about all the things that you don't want to do, that you need motivation for. The reason why you need motivation is because you actually don't want to do it, right? And I'm talking about stuff that you're dragging your knuckles on. I'm not talking about small little irritating stuff. I'm talking about big stuff. Say for example, if you like to party every weekend and you can't save up any money, or you know, you've got a girlfriend and you're trying to be good to her, but you find yourself always wandering outside looking for other women. Or something where, you know, you've got a good job that you've been there for 20 years and you feel the loyalty thing, but you realize it's a dead-end job and it's not going anywhere and you feel so guilty and you want to leave it. Right? The more motivation you need, the more that you don't want to do it, the more that it's actually something that you don't actually want to do, but it's an idea that you somehow believe that that's what you're supposed to do. So you're wondering, okay, so what's your point? Okay, motivation from the outside, I need more of it, life sucks. What's your point? Here's my point. Instead of looking for motivation from the external, why not find something that you want to do yourself, that you actually want to do? And you'll realize you actually don't need motivation for stuff you want to do. For example, 10-year-old kids. Do you got to give them motivation to play video games? Do you got to give them motivations to eat Fruit Loops? Don't think so. They're self-motivated and they can, and honestly, if you didn't stop them, they'd be playing video games all day long. They'd be eating Fruit Loops till they get diabetes, right? So instead of looking for motivation, take the time to find out what is your, I guess we'll call the word inspiration. What are you internally driven by? Because if you realize whatever you are internally driven by, that's kind of like the fountain of youth. It's the fountain of infinity. You don't need to refill on that stuff. Why? Because it comes from the inside, right? Like when you're in love with someone, there's kind of no limits to that love. It just keeps coming out and out until they screw up. Then that love turns into hate. And then you want to kill them like nobody's business. But whenever things come from inside, they're internally driven and they're infinitely fulfilled, I guess, or represented. When you need to get the whip or you need external motivation, it's because you're doing something you don't want to do, and you always need more motivation because it comes from the outside. So that's my 2 cents on why motivation is a shitty way to do things and why you need to find inspiration instead of motivation in your life.